A concept that we came up with is what we're calling the new IP. In the technology world, when you hear the word IP, typically it means intellectual property. But after having worked with a lot of technology companies over the years, it seemed to me, and that's obviously critically important, but there's two other IPs that are important. The first is ideas, and the other is people. And so in order for a new business to become successful, you got to have a really good idea, but at the same time you need the people who can basically help ensure that those ideas come to fruition, and you can basically build a business doing that. There was a study done around 2008 timeframe, and a couple of researchers looked at 750 companies that had basically failed. And they found kind of 7 general characteristics among those failed companies, but the one common thread in all of those was not failure of leadership, failure to execute, which most of the time if you poll people, that's the reason you think companies fail. But in every one of those 750 companies, the problem was a poor business strategy, which I really relate back to an idea. There was a failed assumption that idea would work. And so when you really look at technology companies, you need to have ideas that are very good. You need to have ideas that have been vetted, and asking the hard question. One of my favorite sayings is hope for the best and plan for the worst. So at the idea stage, what you want is you want people to come together and really have that devil's advocate who says, okay, everybody seems excited about this idea, but what is it that we're missing that might prevent us from being successful? When you look at a business and you've got a really good idea, an idea that you think is going to make a difference in the marketplace, the next step is you've got to get people to help you mobilize that. And Thomas Edison said that vision without execution is hallucination. And the people are the part of the equation that help make those ideas become reality. In all honesty, a lot of times that's the most challenging part in running a business once you've come up with an idea, is getting people on the same page, dealing with different personality types and different passions. And great leaders have the ability to take the differences in their team and really get them to march forward in the same direction. I think probably most of us who've been in leadership / management for a while, you're always kind of looking for, what are some techniques that could kind of help bring a team together. And if you've got a really good idea and you've got a very technical group of people, you're going to have some real differences. So kind of playing around some different ideas. I love acronyms and came up with the acronym ACES, which stands for Accountability, Commitment, Excellence, and Service. And all 4 of those are important, but probably of those 4, the number one most important characteristic for a successful team is accountability. A lot of times people think accountability is people doing what they're supposed to, but actually what precedes that is leaders making sure that the people that they're managing or supervising or leading, that they clearly understand what's expected of them. So accountability ironically starts with the leader. Then once the leader's clearly told everyone, each of the team members, what needs to be done, then at that point the leader can hold his team members accountable to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. As you look at this picture that I've got behind me, we're in Houston today, and that picture was taken probably somewhere around 1910. And I always enjoy kind of coming in here and looking at that picture and just kind of going back over 100 years ago, thinking about the United States, the technology that we had at that time. I think probably if you're able to take a time machine and go back to 1910, I don't think people could have even dreamed the things that we've done with the internet. You look in this picture, it's got a trolley and cars. I don't think they ever envisioned that every house would have cars. So I think it's a really exciting time when you think about the IP concept, the ideas and people, is that there's a lot of ideas out there. We're able to share those ideas in a way that we weren't before because of the internet. And then you've got people who are motivated coming into the marketplace who want to make a difference in the world. It's not just a job. And I think as I look at the new generation coming out of college and coming into the marketplace, there's an excitement that they have to want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. As we look at what we're doing with ABB Integrity, we want to be part of that, and we want to help bring businesses together with operators, oil and gas companies, as well as investors, and basically create this culture where people put ideas out there and they're vetted, and then we get them in the hands of the marketplace, the oil and gas operators, as quickly as possible. sometimes it's not appropriate for things to take 5 to 7 years when you get the pieces in place, when it really could be maybe a 2 or 3 year process. So that's really what we're committed to and why we started this company.